Hey guys, welcome back to almostinevitable.com. My name is still PK and I make WordPress tutorials for website developers and designers. So today is going to be a very easy day, sort of, I think. So that's great. It might be shorter. It might be shorter. Okay, so while I have you, please join our Discord. It's a safe place for all developers and designers. We talk about a lot of stuff sometimes. So come on in, join up, and we can chat. And also you can ask questions about whatever is going on here. Okay? All right, so today we're going to be talking about display. All right, so let's start the timer. 13:13, and let's get into it. So here we don't have anything that says display yet, right? Now, let's say, for example, I change this to display block. Now that will do nothing, all right? Why? Because headings and paragraphs are blocks by default, okay? And on the other side of the spectrum, there is display inline, all right? Let's give that a look. Let's give that a go. I'll just do it here. Display inline. All right, so now you can see that the paragraphs are not paragraphed apart. They're not set apart, right? They just flow into one another. It's because it's inline, all right? Now, normally you would not get that. Paragraphs are blocks, so that's why you see that. But if you give them a display inline, that's what you get. Now, there's a couple of interesting things that is worth knowing. Anchor tags, which are links in regular people speak. Anchor tags, that's actually, it's called an anchor tag because it's a link. It's an anchor. That's what the A is, okay? Anyways, so anchor tags are display inline by default because they are usually assumed to be inside like paragraphs. Okay, now we make buttons, we make menus and all that kind of stuff with anchor tags, but they were originally sort of intended to be inside text with a blue underline, as we all know, like the old default text, right? So let's give this some, oh, it doesn't really matter. Yep, so hello link. Okay, and that is why that anchor tag can actually stay inside the line. All right, so let's see what we can do about that. All right, so when I put the P in front, it means inside, so nested inside. That's what that is for selectors. All right. Which reminds me, I never talked about selectors and units. Oh, I did, but did I talk about all the same level and the nested? I probably did. Anyways, I'm sure I did. So I did, right? Just to be sure. This means an anchor tag inside the class of DD section. All right, inside, so it's nested, child element. All right, but if I do this, then DD section and DD hero should be in the same level. Okay, that's it. Now you can see that there's no space here. There's no space here. That's how you know it's in the same level. But if there is a space, it's nested inside. Okay, that's like the easiest way of explaining selectors. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so this is this. Let's change the color. Red. Text decoration. None. So no underline. There we go. That's cool. Now, for example, if we wanted, let's make this white And let's make it a button. All right, we're gonna add a button inside the text there. All right, add a button. Okay, so let's try this. Background color. Why? Background color, red. We're not going to give it a border or anything, but we will give it some margins and paddings. All right, margin 0.5 rem all around, and padding a little less than that, 0.3 rem all around. Okay, now have a look. Does it look proper? It sort of doesn't, right? It sort of doesn't. The reason is because you can see that the margin, the top and bottom margin, don't work. Can you see that? Yeah, it doesn't work properly. Let's give it slightly larger padding. Yeah, okay. See, even if we do that, now if it has larger padding, but it doesn't move the text out like the line here, this line, it doesn't move the text here. It's just there, right? It doesn't have a presence, right? The reason is because this is display inline, all right? That's what happens for inline. And I've seen a lot of people have trouble with this when they write like simple HTML in a block, put it in a code module, and then just give it an A anchor tag like that and make a button. And they're like, why is this button so weird? And they add like paragraph line breaks and stuff to see how to try to get that to work. But if we were to actually get a full line break and have that button sitting alone, what we could do is change it to display block. All right, that happens with display block. If it's display inline block, that's what it looks like. How are they different? Okay, as you saw, inline keeps the baseline. All right, it stays in line. The side margins work. The vertical margins do not work. Okay, now for blocks stretch all the way out. They become 100% by default. All right, they become 100% by default. And that's why it would be a good idea to have, like, for example, max width for buttons like that if it's a block inside a paragraph. Okay, and you know, this is practical CSS, so trying to anticipate all that. So yeah, blocks go all the way out. Inline blocks come in. All right, they come in. They try to become smaller. They try to wrap this little thing, the content. Okay, and as you can see right now, that's what it's doing. It acts like a block because it has margins, and the paddings actually have a presence, but it still stays, you know, in the line. It doesn't break a new line because it's not a block. All right, now let's put this back to block and max width 10 rem. 20 rem, doesn't matter, but yeah, 10 rem, and there you go, right? So yeah, blocks live on their own, and that's why blocks actually can have margin collapse. All right, I'll show you another interesting thing. Okay, I'll show you another really interesting thing. All right, so you remember we learned margin collapse from last lesson? All right, let's make the paragraphs display inline block. Do you see that? Now there is no margin collapse. The reason is because inline blocks do not have, it's supposed to say it somewhere. I can't find it right now, but yeah. Inline blocks do not have margin collapse. They don't have margin collapse. All right, so that's just standard, web standard. So there you go. All right, so that's a very interesting thing that you can probably that could probably help you understand how to fix things. Okay. All right. So we have the three types of blocks. Sorry, three types of displays: blocks, inline blocks, and inline. Tell the difference, right? Inline doesn't, the paddings and the margins don't work. Side margins are the only things that work. Everything else doesn't actually work properly. And inline, it helps with collapsing things and having them not have any special presence as a block, but that's for anchor tags and spans. Okay, anchor tags and spans are inline by default. Paragraphs and headings are block by default. Okay, now when you want to make a button, you normally want to make it an inline block because that's how the buttons size properly and it has the paddings that are respected. Okay, so I think that explained the three main displays. We are going to talk about flex and grid in lessons 7 and 8. Right now this is lesson 5, so we'll talk about that later. All right, for now, bare bone basics, practical CSS, inline blocks, blocks, and inline. All right, got some seconds, some minutes left, so that is good. This is one of the shorter ones, and I guess that's it. So see you on the Discord, see you on, subscribe or whatever, and I'll see you around. Okay, see ya, bye.